Hi, it's Bowman. Welcome to my video lesson for this little funky number. Okay, so some of you may have recognised that track from the recent promo video that Cory Wong has released for his new plugin with Neural DSP. It was released about a week ago on YouTube and on his Instagram channels, and I've already had a few people requesting me to transcribe this. It's a great little funky number, so I thought I'd give it a go. The plugin itself is fantastic. I've only just got it, so I haven't had a time to play with it too much. But at the end of the video, if you want to click the link below, you can see the settings that I've got for this recording. If you haven't checked out the plugin yet, I would very much recommend it. Some great sounds in there. Good news is that it's relatively easy to play. At speed there are a few difficult parts, but I think this will be something that most people will be able to learn and have a lot of fun with. Essentially you only need to learn two 2-bar phrases to be able to play the whole thing. It's another tribute to Cory that he can take what is a relatively simple riff but make it sound so cool. As always, if you enjoy the video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Also check me out on Instagram and Facebook. Links are below. There's also a link to a donation page. Okay, let's get straight on with the lesson. So the song starts off in the key of B flat major. So we're starting off with this B flat major shape here at your 6th fret. So the majority of this track, Cory is playing double stops, as he so often does, to great effect. The other thing that's slightly different about this, in the main riff, we're not doing down, up picking. If you watch the video, you'll see that Cory's doing all downstrokes, which does take a bit of getting used to. I found that strange at first. When I first started learning it, I was just doing down, up, and I thought, this doesn't sound right. But when you look at the video, you can actually see that he is doing all downstrokes, and he's getting that real chompy kind of sound going on through it. It's great. So for now, don't worry about upstrokes. Everything is downstrokes. What we're doing to begin with in the first bar is we're picking out double stops from this chord. So we start off 8th fret on your A and D, followed by 8th and 7th on your D and G, followed by 7 and 6 on your G and B. What I would say for this song is, as well as the downstroke chomping kind of feel, you also want to do quite a bit of palm muting. These notes aren't ringing through, they're very staccato, very clipped. You're going for that kind of sound. So downstrokes, quite strong, palm muted. So do those first 3 beats, which are all part of the chord. So if you want, if you're happy to release your fingers, etc., just keep the chord down. You can do it like that and just release the pressure. We're then going to slide up to the 11th and 10th frets on your B and top B strings. So this is the B flat major chord up here, top 2 notes, and then come down 8th fret on your B and E to the 6th fret on your B and E. Sounds a bit like this. Looks fairly simple, but at speed, to make that sound good and then to get this in time takes a little bit of practice. The way I'm fingering it, to be honest, to watch the video, I'm probably fingering it all kinds of ways. I'm just panically going for the notes, but the way I would finger it is probably to slide up like that. So you've got that chord down there, you're not using your 3rd finger. Slide it up to the 11th fret and then put your 2nd finger on there. Then we're going to go back to the G and the B strings in that chord, then back to the 6th fret, and then back up to the 8th fret. So that whole beginning. Note that there's a rest between these 2 notes. And then we do a little pattern going down. First part going to the next bar is So 7th fret on your G, 6th fret on your B, all still part of this chord. Adding the 8th fret on your G and B, and back to the 7th and 6th. So, or bar it if it's easier for you. Next part, still part of that chord, 8th fret and 7th fret on your D and G, to the 10th fret and the 8th fret, and then back. So when I do this, I move my fingering. So I'm using my second and first fingers here, slide up my first finger, and then either add the third or the fourth. Because it is quite a quick move, that. So we've got, next one, 8th fret on your A and D, up to the 10th fret. So you could either do, or, probably easier at the speed to use the bar. So, between all of these there's a scratch. Hitting the strings is a downstroke between them. So you start off with 2 scratches. Another scratch. So this is all still part of that chord, just adding the third, major third here. 8th fret on your D string, 5th fret on your A. Keep that finger the same, and just move your first finger up to the 6th fret, and then back down. And then the bar finishes with an open E, which is a very strange note to throw in there, but it works. 8th fret on your bottom E, and then back to the 6th fret of your bottom E, which takes you into the start of the next bar. That last bit once more, slowly. And then it repeats. So this note here becomes that first beat of the bar. And it just repeats around. I think Cory plays it 4 times, twice on his own, twice with the drums, but you can do it as many times as you want. We're then going to move down 2 frets and play exactly the same thing. Transition into that, so once we've done the so we'd hit the bottom open E, 6th fret, 5th fret on your bottom E, down to the 4th fret, into this next bar. So, like that. Playing exactly the same pattern as we were playing up here, but down 2 frets. I'm not going to go through that in detail, you can get that from the tablature, but it sounds. So once you've learnt this riff up here, the pattern of it, the notes that you're playing, all you have to do is move it down 2 frets, and it's exactly the same fingerings, exactly the same strings, which makes it a lot easier, but it sounds totally different because you've moved it down to A flat major. After that, we then move into the second riff of the song. So the final time, so we hold this for an 8th note, and then down to the 3rd fret of your bottom E, and we're moving into like a G minor funk. Into that part. So what we're doing here, G minor, playing the bottom note of the chord, 3rd fret on your bottom E, and then you're hitting 6th fret on your B and E strings. So ideally use your 4th finger for this if you can. And then you're dropping B string down to the 5th fret and keeping that top E on the 6th fret. So it goes like this, with a couple of scratches thrown in. So 1 scratch initially, scratch, 2 scratches, no scratches between those 2. And it's quite prominent in the song, the way that there's that pause between those 2, with pretty much nothing going on. Keep your hand going if you need it for the rhythm, just don't hit the strings, so don't. And then you hit 1st fret of your bottom E, back up to the 3rd fret, and repeat it. So all together. And then 3, 2, 1, so you're walking down to an F minor. You're playing exactly the same pattern with an open E. And then you repeat again, back up to the 3rd fret. So So it's just the same riff going round. When you come to the end, you're then going to slide up to an F9 chord. Whether it's a major or minor, I don't think he's actually playing that. So I think it's all on the 8th fret on your A string, G string and B string. So try and slide into it and give it a lot of vibrato. Something like that. The bigger slide, you can get into there, but on the 4th beat of the bar, you want to be hitting that. And then it just goes back into the B flat section. That's how it actually ends when we get there. You just stop at that point. But basically, the song goes around a couple of times. So all you really need to know for this song is that original riff in B flat. And then that same riff in A flat. And then that funky riff in G. Same riff in F. And that chord to transition you back. You can go around and around as many times. It's a really funky riff, I really like it. Once you get used to the downstrokes and the fingering patterns, it's great fun to play, and it's not too difficult, it's not too taxing. It sounds good slower as well, so you don't have to play it at speed, it's just something that sounds good on its own. Okay, hope you got something from that, and you can have some fun playing it. Stay tuned for the next bit. I'm going to just quickly show you the settings that I was using on the plugin and how I used that to get the sound for the lesson and the playback, just in case anybody wants to see it. But again, really recommend that plugin from Neural DSP. They've done a great job with Cory to emulate some of his sounds, and I will be using that a lot in the future, I would imagine. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon with another video.